If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. So we've been in Texas in this near Lubbock, Texas, Amarillo, Texas area. Right now we're north of Amarillo. We've been staying at these city parks. And the longest stay limit we've been able to stay is 5 days, and then the shortest stay limit's been 3 days. I think they got one just north of here that's 1 day. We got this one to stay at, and then we're going to stay at one more, and then I think we're going to head off into New Mexico and then into Arizona to see the Grand Canyon. But we've been here, I guess, what, just a little over 2 weeks now in these little city parks, staying from one for the other, which has been really handy considering the string of events that we've had to go through. It just made things a lot easier with all these problems that we've been having. And I'm going to go through these and let you know that they've all been cleared up and that we finally got them taken care of. But it would have been a lot more difficult to take care of these problems had we been in a national forest. The distances that we would have to have driven would have been just incredible. Not near resources. We'd have been having to worry about charging our batteries. Whereas here, we didn't have to charge our batteries, we had free electric. So the first problem we ran into was bad tires. We had 2 tires that kept going flat. And so when we started heading from Waco up to the Lubbock area, we had another flat tire. Well, that one was too big to patch. So we had to make an emergency stop to get a new tire put on the driver's side rear. Well, of course, I wanted to replace all of them, but the tires were so dang expensive there that we went ahead and went up to a campground near Lubbock and ordered tires from Walmart. So we got the same exact tires at Walmart for $60 less than we did at the discount store. Well, the problem was we had to order them. So we got to our first campground. It was a 3-day stay limit. So we stayed the first day. I didn't do anything. The second day, I decided to order them. Well, then we had to stay in the area to pick up our tires and get them changed. So we dropped down to a campground that we skipped by because we hadn't planned on staying there, and got to stay there for 5 days, which was the amount of time that we needed to get our tires. So we came back up to the original town that we were in, got our tires, got them all changed out. Well, then we got the tires put on, and I noticed the truck was pulling. I don't know why, but it was pulling to the left really hard. And so I was pretty confident that the alignment had been messed up. I don't know how. I don't know if it was because we changed the tires, which can be an indication. But it could be that when they were test driving the truck, they ran into a curb or something and knocked it out of alignment. Who knows? And so I checked the alignment, and I showed you a video on that. I'll put a link to this video right here. I checked the alignments with a string to see if it was out of alignment. It was. So while we're at the next campground, I went ahead and we got the truck aligned. So that really helped us out, being in this area. Then we discovered while we were there that my bank had decided to cancel my debit card. They were changing from MasterCard to Visa. So a whole year early, they decided to give me a new card. Well, as I explained in a previous video, I have everything I need lined up in a cycle where I can go back to Missouri about every 2 years and get everything taken care of. My debit card, my credit card, my license plate, and my driver's license. I didn't have to be back until November of 2020. Well, then they send out this new debit card. That means I got to go back early, or I got to figure out how to get it here. Well, I've never been a big fan of general mail. General mail is when somebody will send you a package of some sort or mail to a post office in your area, and then you can just pick it up. So in order to get general mail, you have to, on the envelope, somebody has to put the general mail, your name, the town, and the zip code of the town. And so then they'll hold it there at the post office for 30 days. I've seen videos where that hasn't worked and they've lost the mail. And they specifically blame it on the general mail delivery. I don't know, but I've never had it done. So what I did was, my mom was going to send out the debit card to me, and she went and called her post office, and her post office specifically said, no, they could not send mail to that town that I was in, general delivery. Well, this would have been really complicated if we had been in a national forest, because then we would have had to find a UPS store, which is what we ended up doing. While we were here, we were able to go and find a UPS store, which was very close to the campground that we were at. Again, see, these city parks, everything's real close to you. So Mom UPS'd it to me. Well, there was a little bit of a hiccup there. There was 2 cards, and I didn't know there was 2 cards, but Mom sent the card that I did not need, so she had to send it again. So it took about 6 days to get the card to me, and so today we got the debit card. While I was waiting for the debit card, I had a leak on the roof. Now, I know everybody's going to say, oh, it's because of that coroplast. No, the coroplast is not the reason I had the leak. What had happened was I had silicone a seam, and the seam got caught, tree branch, and it lifted the silicone up a little bit. So here's the really neat thing about the coroplast, is I didn't have to do anything fancy. I didn't have to go to an RV store. I didn't have to go and buy any fancy equipment. I didn't have to do anything. But I did have to walk over to Walmart and pick up some tubes of silicone. So I just went up there and sealed everything up again. And, you know, that took all of 20 minutes to fix. But the thing is I had to do it in between rain. So if I'd have been in a national forest, see, this is what's so cool about these city parks. If I'd have been in a national forest, would have had to drive to town. And now you cannot work on your camper in national forest. That's the big rule. I had a ranger tell me this as he was towing a car that somebody was working on out of the campground. Had I been in a national forest, I would have had to have gone to town, getting some silicone, and seal up the roof at the Walmart parking lot. Well, the problem with that is I would have had to do it in between all the rain because it needed 6 hours to dry. Well, here in the city park, walked to Walmart, got the silicone, came back, waited for the rain to stop, dried the roof, put some silicone on, and right there in the city park, no big deal. And I had the 6-hour dry. That night it rained again and it sealed right up. Everything was perfect. There is a huge advantage to having stayed at these city parks in Texas that has, again, free electric, free water. Some of them have free Wi-Fi and dump stations. All but one had a dump station. 2 of them actually had them next to your camper. So thanks for watching. Quick like if you like the video, and happy travels.